That vessel may appear harmless, but he came from me. Once I remind him of his legacy, the Lich shall reign once more. Isn't that right, son? Before there was time, before there was anything, there was nothing. And before there was nothing, there were monsters. Here's your gold star.
No power in the verse can stop me.
What's going on, guys? My name is Eldorango, and welcome to episode 437 of This Mini Owl. Today, my owners have let me onto the computer, and we're going to the podcast out of your podcast. Let's get this road on the shot. Fuck me. The Irish accent went at the beginning as well. Like, I completely fucked out.
Yeah, the usually perfect Irish accent.
Yeah, I mean...
The never racist accent.
Quality hard
True.
Brexit accent. So I feel the need to tell the listeners that this is the worst episode because I have a cold. Jack has bad quality, is recording on his phone, isn't able to charge his phone while he has headphones in his phone because he has an iPhone. That's the most time anyone has ever said phone in a sentence. And Loosemore's connectivity is cutting in and out. So this episode is free. So you don't have to be subscribed to the Patreon to get this one. This one is entirely on us. So you guys are totally fucking welcome. So yeah, how have you guys been?
Same old shit, different year now, I guess.
Yeah.
Decade.
Yeah,
Month.
fuck, it is a different decade, isn't it? Jesus.
I'm so deep.
It's like I believe from general chit chat with Jack that there's like actually a substantial number of differences in his life from like when I last understood what his life was, but he is so like
No, there is massive difference.
but you're so fucking
Like,
incapable of answering such a basic question that I have no idea what any of the differences are. Like, I'm pretty sure you're married, you've got like
say
2 kids.
Nothing has changed.
Oh, it's
I'd
just-
rather say nothing has changed than actually have to go into detail about my life.
That's fair, yeah.
What a very Jack thing to say.
Yeah, that is a very Jack thing to say.
Which is why this podcast is so good.
That's correct. This podcast is good. That's a truism. That's a popular opinion, actually, particularly among listeners of the podcast. So, we're
What
gonna.
about Loosemore?
Yeah, well,
Same old shit, different decade, Jack.
Loosemore's even worse to ask the question to because he like feels the need to actually give an answer, even though there is no answer. So he'll say like, "Well, I mean, it's not it's not the same, but it's not different either. I mean, things happen and things don't happen, and ultimately, things exist, and here we are." That's what I would get if I asked.
What's
this.
amazing is that I was going to say word for word what you just said.
You even have it written down as your notes.
I have it typed out as well, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I assume everyone is good with everything, and you guys are having a merry old Brexit because someone had to mention it eventually. So, yeah.
Brexit does mean Brexit.
It does, yes.
I mean, so far, not a lot has changed. I'll be honest.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know what all the fuss was about.
Yeah.
We should have done this years ago.
Boris got it done.
Yeah,
He said he was
yeah.
going to get it done, and he got it done. So the hate can
And he
cease.
managed to pop out another kid at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
What's amazing is
Through
no
it
one
all,
actually
he
knows.
still managed to.
Like, how many are there? How does this
And
question not
he
have an
won't
answer?
admit- He won't admit.
What, that he doesn't know how many children he's got?
No, he just won't tell people how many he has.
Yeah.
It's because I don't think he knows.
Huh.
No, he does know. I know how many I've got.
I also
But at this
know.
point, it's none, so it's quite easy to count.
Yeah, I know how many I've got as well, and it's not none, but it isn't any.
Ooh,
Wow. Ooh.
ooh, news, breaking news.
Yeah, that's right.
Podcast exclusive.
Yeah. I have.
It's going to reach literally 6 people.
I have minus 1 kid. Wow, no, that sounds very sad. Actually, that's not true. I should make it clear that I have no
Yeah.
kids. All right. So, what was the other thing I was gonna say? I think I had a question for Jack. Oh,
God.
it's gone. I don't have it anymore. Maybe if Blink-182 tour again, Jack, we might go see them in London or Dublin.
Yeah.
Even,
Yeah. Do you think they will? They will.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll come to London like at least one more time. I don't know about Dublin though. I'd say it's probably unlikely because they do all those like American tours now. Like they did that Vegas circuit and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah, they'll tour like America like 3 times a year, but it's
Yeah.
no problem
yeah,
leaving that country.
so much money for them. Like
Maybe
unbelievably.
maybe if Star Wars do a tour, you and Loosemore can go.
First of
Wow.
all, Star Wars does tours all the time, and me and Loosemore go to them all the time. So
Yeah. We've been to the last 17 in a row.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're like groupies.
yeah, we are groupies. Yeah.
hmm
Last time, Loosemore fucked an asteroid. It was pretty weird. Oh,
Yeah, that's the whole reason why we don't go into my life at the moment.
I have
I have
something.
little tiny asteroid babies.
I've gotten into the obviously Loosemore knows that for a while there I was getting very high in my house and then texting Loosemore like my movie ideas and stuff. And,
Yeah.
my new thing is that I get high and I write stuff down and I don't tell anyone what it is. But the other night, February 24th at 23:49, I woke up like the next day and I saw this in my phone and it's just the words "All hell broke loose more." I don't know what it means or what I was thinking, but I really think that there's a great wordplay joke in there somewhere. So,
Sounds like an episode of a podcast.
all hell broke loose more.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
man,
this could be the title of this. This is the title of this podcast.
I know, but this one has such a juicy title already with unpopular opinions. You know.
Yeah, that's a pretty juicy name.
I could call it unpopular opinions. Semicolon. All hell broke loose more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Love it.
people will listen thinking like, oh, this is the one where Loosemore finally flips out and tells Jack what he thinks of him.
Yeah. I do love a good title with a semicolon.
Bastard.
That just
What
came
do you
out
think of
nowhere.
me?
Yeah, what do you think of Jack?
He's a fine, upstanding, young man.
Literally,
things.
none of that is true. Not one single word of that is true. Well,
What are we doing on this episode?
uh,
Just chit chatting.
yeah. Just chit chat, just general stuff. Oh, coronavirus, eh? How about that, huh?
Topical.
Either of you gentlemen received it yet?
I'm looking forward to my eventual bout of it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it.
Haven't they said something crazy like 1 in 5 people will eventually get it?
1 in 5 people will die of it.
Just hoping.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
So far, there's 3,000 deaths out of 90,000 cases, which by my maths is like a 12.5% death rate. So
The maths does check out.
I knew that Jack was good at maths and that he would check it out and that he would confirm it for me. So yeah, but no, it's doing the rounds all right. Certainly in the UK. One of my friends thinks that he knows someone who has it, or sorry, I should rephrase that. One of my friends knows someone who thinks that they may have it. So that's exciting for me. I'm trying to go over there and shake that person's hand and then touch my face. But yeah, I don't know. I would really like 2 weeks off work and a 3% chance of dying. So like, I'm down.
I think 3% dying actually lowers my day-to-day rate of dying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but if you consider it like it's added on to it, so if anything, like it increases your overall chance of dying. It just.
Ooh, so I put me up to 102.
Imagine someone lived their day-to-day life with a 99%
99%.
Like there's just like this YouTube channel about Jack, and it's like the man who runs in the opposite way down train tracks every single day in the dark.
Inexplicably survives every day.
He's been hit like 7 times, but they just go straight over him, so he ends up surviving. Yeah, interesting. All right, yeah. So I guess like you could segue here by being like, oh, people in my work think that the coronavirus is terrible, and my really unpopular opinion is that it's not actually going to be that bad, and everyone needs to just chill the fuck out. So, have you gentlemen taken a look at the old unpopular opinion subreddit?
No.
I'm looking at it right now.
I fucking hate Jack so much.
I replied to you earlier without having. I replied earlier without having actually looked at anything that had been said.
I fucking hate you so much. You're such a prick. All right.
Popular opinions.
I think Jack will like this thread though.
Yeah.
It's,
to Jack, they're just opinions. So.
Yeah. To Jack, they're just thoughts that he has on a daily basis.
It says I must be invited to visit this community.
Nah, you're looking at unpopular opinions. You should be looking at unpopular opinion.
Ah. What are we sorting it by?
So I went to controversial first because I thought that those would be the actual unpopular opinions.
Actual unpopular.
Yeah, because like most of the ones that are on the actual thing are like.
I mean, having to upvote this makes it not unpopular.
Yeah, I agree.
So the most that voted will be popular.
I also wrote down some of my own, which I would like to get into. One in particular because it's been on my mind for quite some time now, and I think I've had the sufficient amount of time required to properly articulate why I dislike this thing. And I also think that, Jack, you are going to be offended by what I say. So I really fucking hate the fact that men's trousers don't have ankles anymore. What the fuck is that about? When did that become a thing? Why is it a thing? And it's terrible. Like, what
Don't have what?
ankles?
Ankles?
Why are men all, like, so like nowadays?
I think what he means is, like young men wear trousers and they like don't have socks anymore, and the trousers themselves don't go below the ankles.
Yeah. Men always have their ankles.
So you
out.
kind of see. Yeah.
Oh, so I wear my jeans down to like the top of my shoe.
And are your ankles visible?
And no, but some of my foot area will be.
And do you wear socks that go above the ankle?
No, they stay at the level of just below the level of the shoe.
So like I'm obviously like full on liberal. Do whatever the fuck you want. Wear a dress if you want. I don't really care.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, my issue with it is that for me, it is so fucking uncomfortable when my ankle is in any way exposed. Like, just the feel of like, my legs are completely covered except for the ankle, and I get this really odd fucking breeze on my ankle all the fucking time. Why do I have to have that? It's so fucking uncomfortable. Like, it's like almost like a raw nerve kind of impact on me. Like, how much it frustrates me. And like, you can be like, oh yeah, well, do whatever you want, like buy whatever clothes you want and let people, like, yeah, that's fine, but now all the jeans in all the shops that I shop in don't have ankles anymore because they've disappeared, and I just don't understand, and I want to know why.
Well, you can just buy jeans that are a longer length.
Yeah, I know, but then I don't know. It's like if you're buying jeans, like I'm a 32 waist and a 32 fucking leg size or whatever, but then the next thing is like 34, right? So then I'll be buying a bigger waist, and then ultimately it's a bigger jean, and then like before you know it, it's fucking 1999 again. I'm going around with like flares sticking out my fucking legs.
I wear like a 34 or 36, 34 or 36 waist, but like 30 length.
How are you a fucking 36 waist? What the fuck? You're like way skinnier than me.
Yes, I've go between 34 and 36.
Wow, but I'm a 32.
Depends how much cereal I've eaten recently.
Wow, I see. Interesting.
That was my dinner tonight.
Yeah, but like that's a certain number. I guess we're getting into something else here. Anyway, I just really don't like it. I also think just aesthetically it looks horrible. Like it looks dumb to me. But whatever, people can do whatever they want, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's a particularly practical winter wear, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like having your like back exposed or something. You know what I mean? I feel like if you have your ankles exposed, you're more likely to get like the coronavirus or something. I feel like that's just a thing that people just overlook. You know,
Yeah.
they keep telling us to wash our hands, but what about the exposed ankles? You know, what about the exposed ankles? Not saying enough about it.
I would love it if like Michael Gove put out like a public announcement about how everyone needs to cover their ankles to avoid the coronavirus.
I wish Michael Gove would put out a public announcement saying it's got a very aggressive form of AIDS.
Yeah, yeah.
The midnight hour is back, baby. Yeah. Wow. All right. Here is a good unpopular opinion, and by that I mean it's a fucking terrible opinion. And if you think this, you're a fucking moron. This is from Handsome Clooney, and he says, "You shouldn't give up your seat to someone on public transportation just because they're pregnant."
Yeah, that's not a good opinion.
It is not a good opinion. That is correct. It is a terrible opinion to have. I don't
Like, I'm a self-confessed knob, but I'll always do that.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always give up and say,
Ah, that's interesting. Like I didn't see a lot of people do that in London on the tube when I was there.
London is full of bitter people.
It is. That's true. They are very.
The reasoning that they give in this thread is you didn't tell them to have the baby. That is their own issue to deal with. You and I have the same right to the seat as that pregnant woman, which I guess is true. But like it's the same as like when you're walking through a door, like you're not choosing to go through the door first, but the right thing to do is just hold the door for the next person. You could, in theory, just slam the door and give them the finger, but like that's just not not the correct. I don't know. Like I feel like that. Like this is just someone who's very like angry right now, right? I
It's
don't
like
understand.
it's like yeah. Well, listen here, Rhonda. Like you got pregnant. You made the decision to never travel on public transportation ever again. So you know, it sounds like your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good unpopular opinion.
It's a fucking mental opinion.
That's-
So many people have this this mindset, right, where it's like if something happens to someone, and it's this arbitrary thing, and it affects someone more than it would affect them if it happened to them, that it's somehow insignificant. Like you hear stories about like someone slipped in a supermarket and they slipped on a grape and they were awarded €1,000,000, and people hear that and they fly off the fucking handle and they're like, but I could slip on a grape and I wouldn't need €1,000,000 to get over it. And then like you read the fucking first paragraph of the article and it says the person will never walk again or something.
Yeah.
How light do you have to be to slip on a grape?
I would actually argue that the heavier you are, the more likely you are to slip on it because you would have less
Absolutely
balance.
not.
Really? I don't know. We'll have to do another famous episode of Midnight Hour Mythbusters. Can you slip on a grape?
I will put 1 billion grapes in my garden and run around.
I would pay money to see that, weirdly.
Well,
Someone
for
put
love,
here
for
said
the love of the pod.
Yeah.
they said they have muscle weakness and they've been like it for 17 years. You have been pregnant for all of 6 to 7 months. You can stand, but no one's asking you to be the person to come forward. Assuming that you're the only other person on the train with the pregnant woman and there's all the other seats available. No one's asking you to be the person to stand. Just be like, I'll make a stand here and I'll be the one to stand. Even though there's lots of seats, I'll stand up for this woman. She can take my seat. If there's lots of other people on the train or the bus, and there's this is just such a stupid
Yeah,
argument.
Els had muscle weakness his whole life.
that's true.
Yeah, and he'd still stand for a pregnant woman.
Actually, weirdly
Goddamn
enough, I
hero.
wouldn't, but that's mainly because of social awkwardness. My biggest fear is that I'll stand up and be like, "There you go, love, sit down," and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm not actually
I
pregnant.
wouldn't
I'm
because I would
obese."
never use. I wouldn't because I would never use public transport.
I was gonna ask. See, I was gonna ask Loosemore what he would do, but obviously he's from Wisbech, so he's never seen a train or a bus. It's all horse and
It's
carriage
true,
up
yeah.
there.
Horse. He would climb on a horse.
I do. I have
Before the Newcastle fans get
once
to
gotten off a horse and allowed a woman to ride the horse instead because I'm that kind of guy.
What a great
I'd
sentence.
suggest that letting a pregnant woman drive a horse. Drive a horse?
Yes,
Drive a
drive a horse.
Probably isn't going to work.
It was weird when she couldn't get on it, and then I had to get back on it myself to show her how to get back on, and then I rode off because I was like, if you can't get on, love, don't worry about it. Yeah,
That's true.
but
Yeah, but I am actually terrified of. Wait, hold on a second, Jack. You said you don't get the tube, but I have been on the tube with you many times. So what's the story there?
no.
Who's rigging you?
I'll have a tube of Smarties. There's some weird opinions on here.
Yeah, let's
Read one out, Jack.
Yeah, read one out, Jack.
I'm not telling my kids to never hit girls.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Why do these people
What's
exist?
the reasoning why they say that?
Oh man, it's very simple. Teach your kids to not hit anybody. It's a really simple concept. Do we agree? Is the podcast over? Oh Jesus.
Unless
Oh.
it's like Ronda Rousey, there's still a good chance that you could probably knock her out. So, like, just maybe just like restrain her or something. Also, did Elle just literally leave the scope, chat?
Yeah, I got
Is it
dropped.
gone?
I'm back.
Oh right, yeah, it just came up with Eldeniro left and Eldeniro's rejoined. I was like, what the?
Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're back. Yeah, you're back.
Can you re-say all the stuff you've just said?
It wasn't worth saying.
Ah, I see.
Jack's just all for hitting women, so I had to tell him no, that's not right, Jack.
I'd said I'd punch a pregnant woman square in the chest.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. What's the most controversial things of all time on this?
Yeah, that's what I was. I knew that you would go to that, so I didn't bother doing it. But yes, please tell us one.
These are all shit.
There's one here.
Mentally ill people are second-class citizens.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
second-class citizens.
Why? Like, why would you bother? Like, I don't understand people who sort of put forward opinions that are not really at all researched. Like, I know I just did it about the ankles on the trousers thing, but that's because there's very little information available to research about that. And I have Googled it, and all you really get is stupid clickbaity articles in tabloids. And also, that's not an issue that I really care about. It's an issue that's like a light-hearted chat over tea and talk about kind of thing. But to go into a fucking thread or into a subreddit and be like, mentally ill people are second-class citizens. Like, you have to, like, what even is a mentally ill person then? Is it like somebody who suffers from depression the odd time? Are they a second-class citizen? Like, what? What is a mentally ill person? Like, fuck off.
And to bear in mind the fact that, like, it's like 1 in 3 now will suffer from something like that.
Yeah.
Like 1 in 3 people being a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
Whereas this poster on Reddit is a model citizen that we should all aspire to be like.
It's just like the people that have them thoughts, they're just like, you couldn't imagine being their day-to-day life, like what they think about other things, let alone that.
Yeah.
Going to the gym should be mandatory. Fuck off.
Going to the gym should be fucking illegal. It should be banned. How about
I
that?
go like 6 times a week, and I never enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been to one, but I would imagine they're pretty terrible.
They are dreadful places.
Here's one that is great. It says male circumcision is fine, and it's got a nice little post. Uh, I don't loathe my parents for getting me circumcised. It's been a benefit because I'm in an area where it's commonplace and because it's super convenient. It has also been a unique boon to one of my partners who hadn't experienced one before. Yeah, well, everything has a silver lining or whatever. So that's I just have noticed recently that the topic of male circumcision is incredibly fucking divisive on the internet.
It is a bit, isn't it? My mate's kid had to have it done for like actual health reasons.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
was a post here that goes with that. It was about baby, infant circumcision should be a punishable offence. Is the thread. Um, Tampering with human genitalia before consent can be given. What? Before consent can be given is a human rights violation and should be treated as such. Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, Circumcision should only be allowed for consenting adults. I mean, isn't there like health benefits to it as well? So there's like, I
Yeah.
feel like this gets in the way of like the whole religion versus science versus stuff like that. It gets into that discussion, doesn't it?
Being circumcised is way better.
Yeah.
Come at me, haters. I'm ready.
I can't see them.
There's someone here who says it's a double standard that female genital mutilation is actual mutilation and it's very different. And this guy's like, what a double standard! Like they remove the clitoris in those types of countries. Where they're predominantly like lacking in women's rights and stuff like that. The reason why they remove the fucking clitoris is so that a woman can't experience any pleasure during sex because they only view women as fucking objects. That's not quite the same thing as like getting little Timmy's foreskin chopped off so that he'll be better placed to serve God or whatever reason they do it. I don't know, but it first of all looks better. It's healthier. You're less
That's the
likely
world
to.
I want to live in.
What world?
Nothing.
Okay.
I have no idea what just happened to what Jack said.
No, I mean either. I think like his connection like cut out or something, and then he was too afraid to commit to what he was gonna say.
That sounds like a very Jack then.
Yeah. What else do we have here? What was the one that you had, Loosemore, that I said would be an interesting one?
Oh, that was off the
Yeah, the fucking the hot page or whatever.
controversial one. That was just in the Let's have a look.
It was about models, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Let me just scroll down a bit. Overweight models are not okay, which is the headline. Says you have probably seen overweight models on some sort of social media, and this is not cute or inspiring. Being overweight is a health problem, not a cute characteristic used to get likes or followers. Also, now so many young people are now overweight, this inspires them to stay overweight because it now is accepted in 2020 to be large. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to disrespect overweight people. It's just that the way some of them use the fact they are large to gain followers or be an influencer about how they love their body.
I'd say the number of people who do that are 4.
Yeah. I don't. I mean. Yeah. I don't. I mean. Yeah. It is an interesting one insofar as like I don't think being massively because there's like those sites and YouTube channels where like there's a genuinely like overweight obese women who like eat shit and like get fucking nerdy white kids to like watch them because they just like love fat women eating or something. But like that's promoting eating too much. That's not. I don't know whether that like there's a difference between being uh larger and saying it's okay than like being overweight. I don't know. I mean, obese. I think the obese thing is where we sort of like should draw the. If you're obese and you're promoting it, I think that's right. But being overweight is fine because like the scale of how they suggest someone is overweight can be problematic anyway. Because you can be like 13 stone and be like 5'8" or 5'9", and that could be classed as overweight, but it's not realistically like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you could probably just like start running for a month or two and lose enough calories a day to be under 12 stone and be fine. So that there's yeah, it's certainly I don't think them saying something about like it's not cute.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
I do find it hard to separate like someone being 28 stone and saying that they're body positive. I can't separate that from
Yeah,
the
I agree. I
eventual
don't
health
think
problems that they will
yeah.
have.
I just think it's capitalism 101, and the reason like a model is someone who sells something. So like an overweight model is just selling something for overweight people, and there are more overweight people in the world proportionally now than at any other point, and the companies are just trying to sell stuff to overweight people, and it's as simple as that. And I think like I don't know, people who get like very outraged and mad about stuff like this have never actually thought about obesity as an epidemic or about anything other than just fat people shoveling food into their faces and associating them with gluttony and stuff like that. Like I don't know, like pretty much every fat person ever, like they overestimate how much they eat or so. I can't remember what it is now, but I read some statistic about that they don't actually really know how much they eat, but neither do skinny people. Like people tend to drastically miscalculate the amount of calories that they intake every day and stuff like that. But it's like people who are overweight are just I don't know, like nobody is overweight and just thinking to themselves like, oh, I'm gonna eat all this food because I'm a fucking pig and I am so fucking greedy and the only thing that I can like nobody is like that. It's not a profile that fits any fucking like obese person in the world. But that's what non-obese people tend to think when they have strong opinions about stuff like that. You know, like
It's
oh
like you can have an easily have like an addiction to eating and food the same way you would any other drug.
yeah.
Like people who are addicted to smoking or whatever drug it is. It doesn't. It's no different in that respect.
But is it? I mean, at this point, it's a dependency like anything else. You can be addicted to anything at this point. I think because of the way we consume anything, entertainment, like YouTube. Children like can be addicted to like fucking certain YouTube shows. I imagine, but like it's just a dependency, like something that you want in your daily life, and you
Yeah.
become dependent on it.
Yeah, I do think that we know like pretty much nothing about addiction, and it seems like there are constant studies that come up that tend to like what's the word argue against something else that we concluded at some other stage and stuff like that. But I think I've said this on the podcast before, and I think I have these. I haven't heard this story for about like 8 years or something, but I think I have these names and stuff like that right. But when health organizations and like when public favor started to move against cigarette companies, and then like subsequently like government tax increased on cigarettes and the like anti-smoking movements sort of started. The Philip Morris company, who make Marlboro and I think a few other types of cigarettes, they got out of the they didn't get out, but they took their pedal off the cigarette game and they moved into selling. They bought like Kraft, I think it was, and they started selling Dairy Lunchables and like Doritos and things like that. And it's like no coincidence to me that the cigarette companies saying, okay, let's move into food now, was like the beginning of the obesity epidemic in the States. Like, it seems pretty fucking obvious that what happened there was they figured out how to sell people food that is seemingly bottomless. Like, I could eat a fucking packet of Doritos. I could eat like infinite Doritos all day and never feel full. And like the same applies to like Pringles and pretty much any other like savory snack with with salt in it. I could just eat them all day and then like, oh, that's a lot of salt. I need some Coke to fucking quench my thirst now and all that stuff. And it's just more and more calories over and over and over, and you just don't notice it. And if you're, I don't know, if you're like genetically predisposed to obesity, which some people are, they've proven this in mice that there's a certain protein in the body that makes somebody's like appetite receptors all haywire, and when they remove this protein in mice, the mice subsequently stop becoming obese and they stop eating to match their obesity and stuff like that. And they know that this protein exists in humans, so it's like it's pretty much entirely genetic, and it's not because they just can't control themselves and they don't have willpower, stuff like that.
It's like until you start putting everything you eat into like a tracking thing for like calories, you don't realise how much you eat.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you haven't a fucking clue. Even I've actually been using an app to track how much I eat, and I know that there are some meals that I just fucking skip putting into it, because it's a fucking ball ache having to do it, by the way. There should be a fucking app that just reads my mind at this point. The fact that I have to do anything with my phone is just a fucking outrage. But yeah, I don't know, it's just so stupid. Like, it's so funny to me that like there'll be somebody who goes to the gym like 7 times a fucking week, and they might have a terrible diet or whatever, but they might just have the type of body, the type of muscle density, or like whatever, that they have the body of a god, but they're still like very unhealthy in many other aspects of their lives, and they're like like going on forums and like talking about like, oh, fucking fat people with no willpower, and like they're out there addicted to something like just as bad, or something that's like just as likely to kill them, but they don't see the double standard because they look better and they fit into society better and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, see,
there's like the. Sorry, Jack, you go.
I go like gym like 6 times a week, but I eat shit.
Yeah.
So I go to the gym to maintain what I have.
Yeah.
Well, there's the three body types, isn't there? Like I think what we now know is like those 3 body types. If you're, is it an ecto? Well, I think I'm an ectomorph, like the thinner body type. That just body type just genetically finds it hard to, like, I eat quite healthily, but then there are days where I just eat shit. And we've discussed in the podcast how
like human shit.
I used to human feces, any kind of feces, really. Yeah, but like I until I sort of like probably hit my 40s, even then, like when my metabolism slows down, I don't think I'll ever gain proper weight. Like, and that's crazy, but that's just the body type that I have. And then someone with like I don't know what the name of the other body type, mesomorph, is it? And something. What was the other one? Ecto, meso, and something.
Geodude, Ekans,
but like those.
Yeah, Abra,
and Mr. Mime.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, Mr. Mime. Yeah, and Raichu.
Raichu, yes.
Yeah, that's the one. And if you have a Raichu body type, which is the second evolution of, is it, or third? I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's just easier for you to gain weight, isn't it? Like if you have that body type, it's just a fact. So you can,
I think
you don't have to eat as much. I mean, I could probably, with my body type, I could eat the same amount as someone with a larger body type, and I wouldn't gain any weight, and they would, just simply based on genetics and body types and all that sort of fucking shit.
I think Pikachu only has 2 evolutions. I think he just goes to Raichu and that's that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, yeah.
Also, like, it's interesting you say about the body type thing, because I have the Nicki Minaj body type, and people, I cannot stop, like, just builders will never stop wolf whistling at me when I walk down the street. It's so fucking embarrassing. I know,
but that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
it's pretty horrendous. Oh man, I see an unpopular opinion that I absolutely agree with. It says here, Monday isn't as bad as Tuesday. What do we think about that?
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah. Isn't it? Tuesday's the worst fucking day of the week. I fucking hate it. It is like
Monday, you're still in the memory of the weekend.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the weekend is a little bit behind you. You've got a little bit of momentum, and also Monday is never bad as you think it's going to be. Like you're always pleasantly surprised by how fine Monday is.
It's just okay.
Yeah, it's survivable.
Tuesday is the worst by far, the worst day of the week.
Yeah, yeah. I know Loosemore agrees because Loosemore is off work on Tuesdays, and Loosemore loves working. So
No, that's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My least favorite day of the week is my day off. You're right. Hate it. Hate
Yeah.
not having to get up. Just awful.
you'd rather
It's
be
just
out there on that fishing boat.
terrible. Yeah. With the other fellas finding those fish.
Oh, it's so true, man. It is so true. Let's see. So here's one. Here's an example of how not to use Reddit. So here's a post, right? 203 upvotes in the unpopular opinion. Our society is seriously whacked if we accept people changing their genders as being normal, but calling men who desire women in their 20s creeps or pedos. Okay, nobody fucking does that. Men who desire women in their 20s are seen as heroes, and if they fucking actually manage to get those women, they're seen as like extra heroes. Like Leonardo DiCaprio has never fucked someone over the age of 24. What the fuck is this guy on about? Like this person just wanted to make a post that says shit about gender. That's all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone like called Michael Douglas a pedo when like he started dating what's her face?
Catching Zeta-Jones.
That's the one. Because there was like, I mean, there was like 40 years difference or something crazy.
Yeah.
No, maybe not that much, but like there was a crazy amount of years. But maybe it's not looked upon as like glowingly as it was maybe in like the 70s and 80s and whatever. But yeah, I don't think anyone like says, "Oh wow, what a fucking creep." You know what I mean? Like,
I bet two things are true about this person, right? I bet the first thing is that they are hugely offended by transgender movements, and I bet the second thing is that somebody has called them a pedophile because they fancied like an 18-year-old or something, and he's super offended about it. So he's trying to be like, "Oh, I'm being vilified for this opinion that I have that's unpopular," but then he gets all the upvotes, and it makes him feel better about himself.
Well, if you just got to go with the rule, half your age plus 7. That's the rule.
Yeah, that's
fair.
I have never broken that rule. Nice. That's good. Alright. Half your age plus 7. Cool. Write that one down. Okay. You're not brutally honest. You're just rude. What do we think of that?
No.
Yeah, I don't agree either.
Depends on the situation. If you think that someone's going to benefit from you actually telling them the way you feel or the way they are, then you're not rude. You are literally just trying to help them out.
Yeah.
If someone is unaware of what they're like, then you may be rude.
Yeah. I think that I'm brutally honest, and I also think that I'm quite pleasant and well-mannered. So this is a pretty ridiculous post, I think. And I'd say it's probably aimed at, those people who are on Twitter who are like, "Oh, I say it the way it is, and if you don't like it, then don't follow me." And it turns out that they're just a cunt or whatever. That's probably what it's about. But even those people, it tends to be the case that their most controversial opinions are like, "Ooh, cats are so much better than dogs," and stuff like that.
They are, but
Cats.
I like dogs, but cats are just a superior creature.
Yeah, yeah, go on, Loosemore.
The one here is I just like that. I like reading it. It says books are infinitely better than online books, such as a Kindle version. And then the next part says books can have notes taken in them and can be adorned with personalized bookmarks. You can smell where they're from. I don't want to smell where my book is from. What is that? Yeah. What a weird... Books can have notes taken in them and can be adorned. You're talking about like a... You're not talking about a book. I feel like they're talking about like
A
a
notepad.
diary or
You can
something.
like you
Like,
can take notes on anything if you want. Like you can like Microsoft Paint. You can fucking take notes on a Gyazo screenshot if you want.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, in theory, you could still smell your phone and be like, "Wow, this was made in China as well." Um,
this is another one of those ones, right, where I kind of agree with what the person is saying, but they framed it in such a fucking illogical and stupid way. Like, I agree that books are better than Kindles, but like, I'm not gonna go to the like. I don't have a reason to say that in the world, right? That's just my personal preference, and therefore I purchase books. It's pretty fucking easy.
yeah,
Like, there's no war going on.
yeah.
Like, there's no like Kindle versus books war that I don't know about. Is there?
Yeah. Like it would kind of be like this person being like, you know what I find? I think live sporting events is better than Netflix, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
but okay, but you couldn't enjoy like if yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, that's very strange. The fact that they're like you can smell where they're from. It's such a weird reasoning why books are better than. But like I mean, if they put like I like having the physical copy of something once I own it
Yeah.
and having like because I'm a collector, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But you can still collect something digitally, I guess. But like it doesn't isn't that in that physical form. But to be like, oh, I like to write in my books and smell them. Like, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's such a like I feel like it's kind of a one of those r slash I am very smart posts almost where it's like
yeah,
books are better because they allow me to expand my intellect by adding notes already on top of the author's note. You know what I mean? Like, how about you fuck off with your notes?
yeah. It is kind of like that. Like vinyl is better than whatever
Yeah.
else. And you're like, I guess,
It
but
sounds
like,
so much better. Yeah,
fuck
no, it
off.
fucking vinyl sounds like fucking garbage. Like, honestly, you would be as well.
Just the upkeep of it. Like,
Yeah,
just give me Apple Music and a pair of headphones.
yeah. Just put my CD player at the bottom of a fucking well. It'll sound better. You bastards.
Yeah.
Just give me a podcast, a bottle of vodka, and a noose, and I'll have a great Saturday night.
Wow. Jesus.
What podcast would it be, Jack?
The Midnight Hour.
Probably one of them crime ones.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah.
You like to autoerotically asphyxiate yourself to crime podcasts.
Crime podcast. I
Nice.
may be the first of my kind.
That's certainly true.
That is almost certainly definitely true.
Here, I've got one of my own. Blue ticking and not replying is rude. What do you think about that, Jack?
Do I do that?
Yes.
Oh, then no.
No, because it's not the same as like just flat out. If someone in the street comes up to you and they say hello, and then you just sort of like stare at them for like a second, and then just walk past them, that's rude.
Yeah.
But like you may not have time to immediately give the correct response in a text message because you're busy or whatever, but you'll have seen the message. I guess you could write, "Hey, I'm busy right now. I'll text you my full and proper response later." But that seems like a lot. So a lot of the time you end up just reading the message and hoping that you'll go back to the message if you are to say something more than just nothing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't
if
think
it's a question and you look at the question and indicate that you've read it with the blue tick and then you never reply, I think that is pretty fucking rude. And I think that that's the same thing as just ignoring someone on the street. Because our phones are an extension of ourselves and we make plans on our phones and we socialize on our phones. And if you ignore some
But
kind of.
like, but there needs to be a time frame, right? There needs to be like because you can go back to a message
Yeah,
and
look,
answer it.
yeah, if you read it and then like reply like 5 hours later and say sorry, I was so busy, like then that's fine. That's your disclaimer. That's totally cool. You're off the hook. But like if you never and like the next thing the next message in the fucking thread is you like I don't know 3 days later like hey did you see that game? Like fuck off then you prick. As far as I'm concerned.
I wasn't aware I did this.
Hold on. Let me just go to the Midnight Hour group here.
Getting evidence. protesters.
Oh, fuck your evidence. It proves nothing.
Loosemore, what time? Question mark. Me, I'm free from 6 onwards. Loosemore, yeah, the earlier the better, to be honest. Yeah, sounds good. Me, what time are you around at, Jack? Loosemore, I can be on to record about 6:30 to 7. Me, I'll put a pizza in the oven now. I think Jack is usually 7 at the very earliest. Let's just see. Jack read this at 18:39. Loosemore, it's in my top 10 coolest numbers, yeah. Oh yeah, because I said that 7 was a cool number, yeah. And then we went on blah 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 blah, and then I had to at 7:15, 25 minutes after you read the fucking message, be like, Jack, what be your ETA? And you said half an hour max. At 7:15, after multiple messages saying like, yeah, let's say 6:30, 7. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Jack, what time are you? Yeah, 7 is good. Yeah, cool. Jack, 7:15. I'll be off an hour.
That's keeping you on your toes.
I mean, to be fair to Jack, he did respond.
Yeah,
I guess
25 minutes
but...
after the fucking thing, and 15 minutes after we said would be a good time to record.
Jack, this is where you now say I was really busy at the time. I had lots of stuff going on. You know, this is what...
I wasn't. I couldn't be asked. I was busy making dinner.
And watching Finding Nemo.
I haven't watched that in a while, actually.
It's so funny to me that all you do is watch Pixar movies.
Funny or...
Yeah, funny.
No,
Like
it is
it, at the odd time, I will be like having a fucking mental night out, and I'll be like, been a while since I was out with Jack, and he also likes mental nights out. But then I remember he also likes sitting in his house watching Up and eating Dominoes, and that's probably what he's doing right now.
I am currently... September, October, November, December, April. No, I went from December to April. That's not right. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months sober.
Wow. From even alcohol?
No, I drink like once a month.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Yeah.
And is your life better?
No.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you, sir.
A lot has changed, but I don't tell anyone.
Yeah. I know you actually did tell me a while back. I was asking for...
Did I?
Yeah, I was asking for advice about something.
Something. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And your advice meant fuck all to me, so thanks for that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I've got to drop out for 2 secs. I'll be back in 2 secs.
All right.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
We'll try.
Cheers, Jack.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk shit about him.
I've got one here. Serial killer fascination is a huge mental health red flag.
I mean, that is just quite simply not true based on the fact that predominantly it is women who are interested in serial killers, and predominantly it is men who are serial killers. So it would make no fucking sense that the majority of people with this interest are not in the conclusion that he has drawn from this. So it's just like...
This person put, posted by BW Pro 2021, 6 hours ago. Wow, they're living in the future. I don't care about your opinion. Reading so much into these awful humans isn't healthy. Do with this information what you will.
I will
Wow,
scrutinize
they are really
it.
taking us to task.
I will scrutinize it for the garbage that it is. Like, so by that logic, right? Every state pathologist is like not healthy. Every person who has the highest position in the land at evaluating the people who commit these horrible crimes are not themselves healthy. Like, does that make any fucking sense? Man, like, when people think that their opinion is so valuable and they've put like zero fucking effort into researching it, it drives me fucking crazy. Like, it's like me with the ankles thing. If I were pushing for legislation against clothes that don't have ankles on them, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
fuck it. It's...
I'm quite obviously opinionated about like politics and that, but it's because I research it.
Yeah.
I would like read the Daily Mail front page and then hate immigrants.
Nah. First of all, you read The Sun. So there's no way that's true.
First of all, I read page 3 of The Sun.
I remember.
See what the lovely lady has to say the night.
I remember one time, me and Jack used to play Call of Duty all the time. Obviously, you know that, Loosemore, because you did too. But I always kind of got the impression that
You was
I
also
think it's a little
there.
disrespectful that you didn't add me into the thing. I mean, technically I was the worst of us, but I mean...
you were, yeah.
You know,
Well,
I just
me
played
and Jack played COD. You sat at the back with the fucking MR21 or whatever it is, and did fuck off for the whole game. And you were always the last left alive, and you were always like fucking 0 and 6 every fucking game of Search and Destroy. So that's...
I'll tell you what, there was one time where, like, I did really, I fucking nailed it, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, that was amazing," and that was.
I mean, we did play thousands of games.
Yeah, we did. We played it for literally 3 years. Like, when Black Ops came out, we didn't even play Black Ops. We just went straight back to Modern Warfare 2 for about 8 months before we went back to Black Ops. So.
What was that story about? What did I do?
Yeah, I used to always think that you were like, and I mean this with the greatest of respect, but I also think that you'll understand. I used to think that you were, a bit of a geezer in it, and that you didn't actually have any, like, substantive personality traits at all. But again, I'm sure you understand that this is a fair conclusion. But, I was on what we will refer to from here on out as the forum, and there was some like fucking political discussion on there or something, and like Jack had like fucking 7 incredible posts that like nobody could disagree with because they were like researched, thought out, fact checked, and fucking demolished the other people's arguments and stuff. And I was like, wow, that boy actually has a brain.
Jack's a human being.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was pretty impressed. So, good on you. Proud of you.
Thanks, Dad.
It's funny because I am actually his dad. I think I'm younger.
Big reveal on the podcast.
Am I younger than you, Jack?
You what?
Am I younger than you?
Don't know. Are you?
I hope so. I
thought we were the same age.
Yeah.
On 3, we all say what year we were born in. No.
91.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm like 8 months older than you, I think it is. Right. That's good.
When's your birthday?
I'm not fucking... November 6th.
Did I once message you on the day that wasn't your birthday?
Yeah, because...
saying happy birthday.
Maybe, yeah, because my old Skype thing used to be the 1st of the 1st, I think.
And I just assumed it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And your birthday is like July 25th or July 12th or
June 9th.
June 9th.
I think he would have got there.
I would have worked back from when we went to see Blink-182.
We saw them on
the 12th, I think.
12th. Yeah. Yeah, because my birthday on the Saturday, we went to Tuesday night.
Yeah, probably. I was unemployed back then, so they were all Saturday nights to me. What a great time. What do we think of... Let's go to the most unpopular, or the controversial ones. Let's see. I don't care about the sea levels washing out homes and businesses on coastlines.
Wow, this is a very midnight hour. They're talking about the sea people, right? Are they talking about the sea people?
Could very well be. Let's have a look here. I don't live anywhere near there. That's the first thing they say.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care about the sea levels washing out homes and business on coastlines. Also, I don't live anywhere near the sea.
I can afford to visit, but I don't care to. If I do decide to visit, people will just rebuild on the new coastline anyways. This reminds me of that Ben Shapiro thing, right? Where he's like, oh yeah, well, so what if the sea levels rise? People are just going to sell their homes and move inland. It's like, they're going to sell their homes, are they, yeah? Bunch of fucking fish are going to come around and buy all the homes that are being washed away, you fucking mongo.
Me and the fella from the fisherman boat, we're going to be having a field day when the sea level rises.
Will it not be harder for you to fish in rising sea levels? Like you'll need deeper nets, and the waves will be more rocky.
Oh yeah, but we'll just get the deeper nets, won't we? And the bigger boat.
When the sea levels rise, storms are going to be able to harness way more of the ocean's energy. So, like, if you thought the perfect storm was perfect, wait till you see the even more perfect storms that are going to be coming in the next few years. Let me tell you.
I'll have to remake that movie.
It's fucking March, right? And we're already up to J on the alphabets of the fucking storms thing with Storm Horgate there last week. It's mad. What's happening? You know?
Madness. I still love that video of the Ben Shapiro one.
The one that I just
Do you know what I'm
said.
talking about? Is that what you said? Yeah.
The one about where he's like, they'll just sell their homes and move inland. That one.
To fucking who?
Aquaman!
That guy is beyond unintellectual. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really should have had a word in mind for calling some person not intellectual.
He is unelectable, that's true. He will not become president of the United States this year. I can guarantee you that. Oh, man. Yeah, that is true, though. He's beyond the pale, I think, in terms of how mental and dishonest he is.
He's one of the people where, like, I'll always listen to what someone says and who's got, like, ideologically the other side.
Yeah.
But then every now and then there'll be a video like that comes out and I think, I will not listen to a word this man says.
Yeah, like, I actually do like him in some weird way, that for reasons that I can't quite explain, but I also think that on some issues he just should shut his fucking mouth and stop talking. He's got this video it's called like John Lennon's Imagine is the worst song ever, and he just goes on about how much he hates it and how disgraceful it is, and it's just incredible. Like, there's one part of it, like, he's quoting the lyrics as they come on the screen, and he's like, oh, see, this would never work. Everyone is going to do this thing. The left wants to do this. You know the way he's like that? And it's like, at one point, it goes like, imagine there... Well, hold on, let me just quickly look up the lyrics to this song, because it's the part where it says, a brotherhood of man. But Ben Shapiro can't think of anything bad to say about that, so he just goes, a brotherhood of man. It's like, no need for greed or hunger. And so it's like, in the song you can hear like, no need for greed or hunger, and then Ben Shapiro, no need for greed or hunger. It's just like he's so fucking outraged that he just cannot stop himself. A brotherhood of man. A brotherhood of man. Oh, he's so fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know. He's so, like, it's funny to me that, like, he's like the cool kid's philosopher, and all, like, the conservatives who feel like very disenfranchised are all like, yeah, Ben Shapiro's super cool, but then I see him going like, a brotherhood of man, and I'm just like, you are such a fucking lame person. Like, you are the least cool fucking person in the world. Like,
This is because like with people like that, they monetize their like ideologies and stuff like that, and
yeah.
His whole
they've
thing
done well
is
to do that.
his whole thing is opinions, isn't it? He has to have opinions on everything, whether he's clued up on the fucking thing or not. So he just knows whatever he says is going to make him money. So it's like the Piers Morgan thing.
Piers Morgan, yeah, exactly.
That's like and a lot of people I think will be upset that we've said that, but like if you watch Ben Shapiro's review of Black Panther, it is the most dishonest thing I have ever seen in my life. He's like so upset and so offended that black people are holding this movie up as some kind of triumph of diversity in Hollywood, right? When it literally is exactly that. But Ben Shapiro's like, oh yeah, that's right. This is the best black superhero movie ever. It's not Halle Berry's Catwoman. Like, it's not Wesley Snipes in Blade. Like, no, it isn't. Because those movies are fucking garbage. Sorry, I know that Blade is like a cult movie or whatever, but like objectively, it's not really the best movie ever made. And Catwoman...
But Blade was made for laughs, essentially.
Yeah, and it was made in the late 90s,
like
and it's not a superhero movie either. It's like it's like a weird, dark, like 18-plus cult movie. And like, Catwoman is complete fucking garbage. Like, and the fact that he has to go back... what year are we in? Every time I go to do this, I make a huge error. The fact that he has to go back like 22 years and he can only cite 2 movies that may have had, like, that may be an example of diversity in the superhero sphere or whatever, the comic book sphere in Hollywood, just goes to prove how ridiculous it is. But like, he's so mad about it, and I don't think he even understands why he's mad. Like, in his mind, it's like, oh, black people are flocking to this movie like sheep because of Hollywood forced diversity. Like, he just doesn't know what he's talking about, and he can't articulate it, but he's so angry and he talks so fast. Like, oh, I don't know. I find it so fucking embarrassing. I really wish people like him would stop talking about movies because they don't know what they're fucking talking about.
What's the deal with, is Jordan Peterson still dead?
I don't know. That's a really, really weird one.
Because he's a mad cunt, isn't he?
Well,
Because isn't it like he doesn't believe in like certain medicine or something like that, or am I thinking of?
So he has this autoimmune. Man, this is actually like quite complicated. And I don't want to get anything wrong, but he has this like autoimmune disease thing that he's had like all his life, and it affects his mental health and a bunch of other things. But he has been like, he's tried a whole bunch of different things to beat that in his whole life, and the only thing that ended up working for him was the all meat diet, apparently. And I don't know, like, that doesn't sound medically right to me. Everything I've looked up about it suggests that it's either nonsense or it's a fad, and the things that the benefits people get from it are like short lived, and it's basically the body enters starvation mode and like a whole bunch of other weird shit.
Right.
But yeah, it's not that he doesn't believe in medicine, it's just that for his particular disease he wasn't able to get anything to work. But he does use medicine. Like, he's been on an SSRI for quite some time, and then I don't know, he got that benzo addiction, which you're supposed to wean your body off benzos, and the process can take actual years. Like, there are some people who have been tapering off benzos for like 4 years at a time, and Jordan he didn't want to do that or something like that, and no American hospital would sign off the idea of just someone going off benzos cold turkey, because it
will fuck up your body.
Yeah, and like, there are parts of your brain that'll basically never light up again because they depend on like, benzo addiction is more serious than any other kind of addiction. And so yeah, they went to Russia, where the Russians will do anything for money, essentially. And they put him into this medically induced coma. And I'm not sure, he got like pneumonia and a bunch of other things. And I've read posts about him that vary from he will be brain damaged for the rest of his life to he'll be fine in a few months. Like, I really don't know. It's very hard to figure anything
But
out.
wasn't it something to do with his wife as well? Like,
Yeah, his wife got cancer,
was
yeah, and he fell into like
Yeah.
super bad depression, and he had to go to rehab, and that's where he developed the benzo addiction. Yeah, like, it's a super sad story, but I don't know what to make of it, because I'm not sure what to do with the information we've been given. Like, I've never heard of anybody going to a fucking hospital and paying them so much money to basically go above the heads of typical procedure and fucking all that stuff. So I don't really know. I'm also not really equipped to talk about it, but that's all the stuff I've heard so far. Pretty weird.
I do think it's weird in terms of the internet now, how a lot of people seemingly get the information on all manner of topics from one source, and that's the source that they go. Like, a lot of people go to Ben Shapiro seemingly for everything, and you're like, why are you getting your opinion? Like, if you want to see how a movie is reviewed, go seek. Like, the internet is literally endless. You can go seek lots of different opinions on movies, on books, and it's weird to me that we just seemingly, as a country at times, like Piers Morgan in the mornings, people seem happy to be like, this guy's opinion on a morning show is the opinion that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm going to. It's very strange, given how the internet is so endless, and you can get lots of opinions on different things and broaden your mind, exponentially. But we don't do it. We're just like, yeah, no, Piers is the one. He's the one that I'm going to be like, his opinion is the one that is I'm just going to carry with me. I'm like, really?
Piers
That's what we're gonna do?
Piers Morgan just goes out of his way to find straw men to attack, and then he'll champion that cause. Like that thing he's doing now. Like, oh, I'm identifying as a penguin. Like, shut the fuck up, Piers. Like, nobody holds this position. Like, he doesn't. He's not in any way interested in the nuance of like just the whole discussion about gender. He doesn't care. He's just like, oh, look how, oh, I'm identifying as a penguin. Oh, aren't I so like. He's just, this isn't like an honest attempt to deal with anything. Like, he has no capacity for nuance. He's just a complete and utter fucking like sock puppet of a man. Like, I don't know. I can't stand him.
I just like, because I see the thing that Caroline Flack. It's like he tweeted.
Oh yeah, he posted
like,
the fucking.
She's a fun, bright, and sparky person whose whole world collapsed recently, both professionally and personally. She told me it had been the worst time of her life and was clearly struggling to cope with losing everything she had. Such sad, awful news. And I just retweeted the reply. It was, yeah, 100%, mate. You never know what's going on through behind closed doors, so you shouldn't target them, especially on public platforms. Anyways, what your opinions on Meghan Markle?
Yeah. Which is, yeah.
And he posted like he posted something from his DMs when Caroline Flack messaged him and said, something about, what's her name? Jamila Jamil, is that her name? What's that?
Jamila Jamil, yeah, the one from
Yeah.
The Good Place.
So he posted Caroline Flack's messages that were saying like that Jamila is too mean to Caroline Flack, right? And like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, this idea of like, he's basically telling people to go pile on Jamila Jamil for, like, by implying that she played a part in Caroline Flack's death. Like, this is just like mind-bogglingly stupid. This is like such a fucking stupid position to take, and like wildly irresponsible to go around doing that. Like, I would be so fucking sick.
What's crazy is he doesn't believe himself to be. He believes himself to be innocent, even though if he didn't in any way, maybe he didn't criticize Caroline Flack in any way, maybe on a personal level or whatever. But the way he goes about it in general, it allows other people to think what they're saying is okay. In a way, he had a far more bigger responsible. I don't know. He's just a.
There's a YouTuber called Tobias Gaming who lives with Nep, right? And Piers Morgan has fucking encouraged people to dogpile him before on Twitter. So Piers Morgan can absolutely go and fuck himself if he's trying to take any fucking moral high ground over this. The man has like.
What did Tobias do?
Like 2012 or something. Tobias and Piers Morgan had beef on Twitter, and Piers Morgan said some shit like that. That Tobias Gaming is like some virgin nerd that lives in his mum's basement or whatever. I don't know, like, you know, he rolled out all the cliches and stuff like that. But like he's been fucking dogpiling like Van Persie, Wayne Rooney, like all these people. Like, doesn't he call Wayne Rooney Shrek every time he talks to him? Like, he's an absolute fucking bollocks. He just has no fucking place for moral high ground. This is the guy who saw that Gillette ad. Remember the Gillette ad that everyone hated? That was like, "Hey men, let's be good." And Piers Morgan was like, "Absolutely not! How dare you tell me that I should not sexually assault women," and all this stuff. And it's like, oh my god. Like, I'm sure a lot of people disagree.
He was like, why a razor company should tell me what to do, sort of attitude.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think they are.
I don't. This is actually an unpopular opinion, right? Because everybody seems to think that this ad is terrible and it's virtue signaling and all this shit. I don't see anything wrong with that ad. All that ad is saying is like, men, let's be better, or like, men, let's be good. Like, be the best that you can be. And it's not even what's the word, in opposition with the basic conservative principle of what a man should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand how people got so offended by it. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just the people who criticise people for being offended about stuff are always the one who are offended about stuff.
Yeah, Piers Morgan is the biggest snowflake of all. Like, when he's there,
he's the biggest
that
snowflake.
fucking the Scottish MP that was on, like, talking about how Winston Churchill was actually like a pretty horrible person, and Piers Morgan is like, but he single-handedly saved us from the Nazis. It's like,
no, he literally didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
The Germans trying to fight wars on two sides, and the Americans helpless eventually.
And the Russians won the whole war. But anyway, the
Russians won.
The fucking like, there is like ample evidence that Winston Churchill was a terrible person by pretty much any standards. Like, a terrible person who did good things, yes, but Piers Morgan is like, yes, he was a flawed man, but he blah 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 blah. It's like, and then at one point the guy goes, Piers, everything you've just said is ahistorical, and Piers Morgan goes, so it's historical, so you agree with me? And the guy's like, I said ahistorical, and Piers Morgan's like, no, you didn't. It's like, oh my god, you're such a fucking prick. Like, this is your argument tactic? You're not even going to be charitable to someone who's actually right in the first place, you fucking absolute moron. Oh, he's terrible. He's one of the worst things happening to this planet. And
that includes me.
Yeah, and it includes Guns N' Roses. So, pretty big list there, you know.
Me, Piers Morgan, Guns N' Roses.
Jesus, like a fucking who's who of people you'll
What
meet
triple
in hell.
threat?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. That was a decent rant though. I bet you someone is gonna comment like, you guys always fucking hate conservatives and you never say anything bad about liberals. So
it's true.
I say lots of bad things about liberals.
I think I dislike the people who are like so far on the left as much as I hate people who are so far on the right.
Yeah.
Because we're all like all the same. We're all like, everything is so tribal now. Like, you have your way. There's no listening to other people, and it works the same on both sides. So
yeah. Yeah. Here's a comment on unpopular opinion. I'm sick of people telling me that there are people worse off than me. I agree with this. Like, it makes no fucking sense to me as a... Like, the other... what was it? Like, a week ago in work, I had to stay late. And I was, like, really fucking angry about it. And, I'm actually, like, I'm such a bollocks because I'm new in this job and I really should stay in my lane. But I was, like, outraged. I was like, this is a fucking joke. Is there no one else that can fucking sign this thing? Like, it has to be me. And my manager was like, have you got somewhere to be? Like, do you need to leave urgently? And I was like, no, I just prefer my house to here. So I want to be in it. And the manager goes, well, if it makes you feel any better, El De Niro, I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning. And I was like, well, as it happens, pal, my happiness is not fucking directly proportional to your unhappiness, so what you've just said makes me feel nothing. How is that supposed to make me feel better, you stupid bollocks? Like, Jesus Christ, like, oh, well, you've suffered. Oh, well then. All of a sudden, I don't care. Like,
suffering's relevant to you.
yeah. Like,
so
first of all, you're a manager,
you can
right?
have your
like,
own...
there's a discrepancy. The fucking disparity between our fucking pay packets perfectly compliments you for your efforts at coming in early. You, because of your position, you have higher responsibilities than I do. So, like, fuck off telling me you've come in early. You get paid handsomely for it. I don't get fucking paid overtime at all. So shove that up your bollocks, bitch.
Yeah, I do hate that sort of like the idea that like when someone says, "Oh, cheer up, mate, it's not too bad."
Yeah.
That's sort of like, just can I headbutt you? Like, am I allowed to headbutt that person? You know what I mean? Like that, your comment isn't necessary, and then they feel like because what they've done, they should somehow like be praised for,
Yeah.
telling you how it really is, and you're like, well, that's you're not helping. But yeah,
I do like one of.
I do think.
No, you.
Sorry,
no,
go.
you go.
I feel like time we don't allow people to just be silent. Like there's always this thing of like we have to say something. We promote people in some. If someone's looking a certain way, you should say something to them. Ask them, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But sometimes just like shut the fuck up. I just allow that person to be just like angry for whatever reason, or like wear a frown on their face. Maybe they just been delivered some bad fucking news. Maybe their cat died. You don't fucking know. And you saying like, oh, cheer up, mate. It's not the end of the world. Like, no, just jog on, fella. Like, whoever you are. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid that I don't know. I just feel like People need to stay in their fucking lane. You know what I mean?
I really enjoy complaining, and like when something annoys me, I complain. And sometimes people don't know how to react to that, and they're like, "Oh, listen, man, it's all right. Like it doesn't." And I'm like, "No, like this is my process. I need to make a humorous rant about this. I need to say some things in a frustrated voice that have really good punchlines that you will laugh at every time." And then I'm done. Like that's it. I just need to have a little bit of a comedic rant every now and then. It's not like, I don't know. People who just say things in general, like this guy that sits next to me at work. He doesn't sit next to me anymore, but like one day I had a sore throat and I was eating strepsils. And you know the way you're only supposed to eat like one strepsil every 48 hours or whatever the fuck the thing is. And I was like on like
Did you chop it off and sniff
I was on my fifth one. Nah, I've wanted to try that, but I believe it would absolutely fucking obliterate my already barely hanging in there nostrils.
Yeah.
But I was on like my fifth one by like 10 o'clock, and he's like, "Geez, you're really pounding through those strepsils. How many have you had now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am, because my throat is really fucking sore, but when I eat these, it's not sore, so I intend to keep on eating them until my throat is no longer sore." Like, thank you very much for your fucking input. It's mad. I consumed this product. Sorry, I purchased this product with the intent to consume it. I didn't plan on eating one of them and then throwing them in the bin just to make you happy. So, how about you focus on your own fucking job there, and I'll do mine, and I'll work on my sore throat. Thank you. Yeah, some people need to just fuck off. That should be my unpopular opinion post. Some people need to just fuck off.
Fuck off. They're doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But can they just fuck off?
Yeah. That should be the title of the next episode. People who need to fuck off.
Can we do
Number
a top 400 people who need to fuck off?
Frank Lampard. You know what you can do, mate? You can fuck off.
That is generally probably quite a good episode.
I think so.
Or we just list 400 people.
We come up with like 5 or 6 people each.
But do we have to give a reason, though? I assume we'd have to give a reason.
Yeah, but that's where you talk through it. You don't just name your 5 and it's like, oh, end of the episode.
Oh, can we actually do that? That sounds genuinely fun.
It generally could be a good episode.
All right.
I feel like it has to be famous. It can't be like Karen from accounting. Do you know what I mean? Like,
fucking Karen.
Oh, you guys have dealt with Karen as well. Yeah, she's a
fucking bitch.
Yeah, that's actually that does sound like a good idea. I think we should do it.
People who need to fuck off.
We could use the WhatsApp group to brainstorm. That way, when we actually get to recording, the research will already be done.
Don't all just come up with the same 5 people.
Yeah, we don't all have
Donald Trump.
Hey, did you guys hear that guy's the president now in America?
It's mad, isn't it?
Crazy.
Yeah. The guy who used to do the TV show.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Things that make you go. Alright, well, this has been a good episode. I really appreciate you guys coming on, especially Loosemore, who sat here for 45 minutes while we waited for Jack.
I did say half hour, Matt.
You did, at 7:15, 15 minutes after we started waiting.
Next time we do this, give me like a 2 days notice so I can get...
In fairness, I did give like a week's notice, didn't I?
No.
Yeah, I feel like Elle did ask us last Wednesday if we could record on Thursday.
Right, I'll change what I was going to say. Next time we do this, tell me to buy a mic.
Ooh.
Right.
I'll buy you a mic.
No, I'll do it because I can just do it on Prime. I'll get it the same day.
I have Prime as well, mate. All right.
All right.
I haven't been watching The Boys on a fucking torrent. All right. I fucking Amazon Prime that shit. It's such a fucking waste of money.
You rebel.
I have too many subscription things. I'm so fucking ready. Oh, that reminds me. I need to respond to my ghostwriter. I hired a guy to write an origin story about the Sea People.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to read it on the podcast. I should not be allowed to have a salary. Alright. Yeah, so remember, to the people in the chat, this episode is free. Unlike all the other ones. And for those of you who don't know, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/
Give me your fucking money.
yeah, /
Yep.
nasa.gov.uk / military / Black Ops.
Yeah.
There's no way they'll get it confused with something else.
No. All of the money you donate to this show goes directly into overthrowing
my
governments in
fucking
foreign
nose.
countries. Yeah, or yeah, that too. So yeah, have fun, enjoy all of your lives, to the listeners, and to you guys. Let's talk about people who need to fuck off at some stage.
I do now.
Yeah,
To bed.
I also do now, to bed. All right. Well, good night.
Been a pleasure.
Has it?
Catch you later.
You go.
Remember when we had them all on the run? And the night we saw the midnight sun. Remember saying things I could sleep when we're dead. And thinking this feeling was never gonna end. Remember when we had them all on the run? And the night we saw the midnight sun. Remember saying things I could sleep when we're dead. And thinking this feeling was never gonna end. Remember that night you already in bed said fucking concentrate with me instead. Give me that naked and skin rush. Give me that you and me in a great trust. Give me my girls living love wild and free. Give me my boys and I'm swimming through the streets. Give me that night you already in bed said fucking concentrate with me instead. Give me that naked and skin rush. Give me that you and me in a great trust. Give me my girls living love wild and free. Give me my boys and I'm swimming through the streets. Give me that night you already in bed said fucking concentrate with me instead.
Yeah, because you're just on wireless headphones.
Oh, actually, it is pretty bad. Hold on. Say something for like a long amount of time.
Long time.
Yeah, if you say everything like that,
it's
it's
alright.
fine.
It just sounds like you're kind of far away. A little bit.
Well, what about now?
Did you walk further away?
I'm literally right next to you.
Wow.
Ah!
Let me try one more thing.
Yeah, no, like, oh, Jesus, I like, really just don't know why I bother, honestly.
Unless that next thing is getting on a plane and flying to
Yeah,
Dublin to be
I
in the
know.
same fucking room as you, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I can't imagine it doing so either. What?
That's weirdly better to begin with. How
That's
did that?
me. That was me that said that.
Oh,
What about now?
A little bit wobbly. Say something for a longer time.
For a longer time.
Yeah, like the audio quality is shit on this show anyway when you guys are on, so it just is what it is. I think there's like a second audio delay between me and Loosemore. His connection keeps cutting in and out. You have no battery and you keep cutting out.
Yeah, mine is cutting in and out as well.
Yeah, we might as well just fucking go. Like, why not?
is it just Skype though? I feel like
Yeah, Skype is terrible.
because our fucking connection when we did the Star Wars thing was really good though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Ooh, Star Wars.
We need something other than Skype, so for next time.
What you mean like? What's going on, guys? My name's El De Niro, and this is episode 727 of the Midnight Hour
It'll
weekly
do.
podcast. Or some, yeah, I can't do it. No, you write something.
Okay.
Make it the 437th episode of the podcast, and then I'll say something about that being my seventh favorite number of all time, or something. You know what I mean? Just something ridiculous.
Can you see what I just typed in the chat?
No, because I'm on the fucking blue thing screen.
Alright, well, get off that.
And go to chats. I feel like that's the right move here. Wait, why can't I fucking access it? What the fuck?
Are you on a computer?
At the moment, yeah.
No.
The bottom right, there's like a little
Oh, yeah.
message button.
I've got it. It weirdly didn't show up at first. No, it's fine. I got it.
Because I still don't have a read receipt from you. So I don't believe that you can see it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how it works. Alright, you ready?
Mhm.
1 sec, hold on. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. You ready to start?
It's a hell of a drug.
It is. Alright.
Mhm.
3, 2, 1. Loosemore, go!